Down the field, the Lions team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, you stand and cheer the brave. Win the game, with honor you will keep your fame. So down the field and gain, Lions victory.
Woo! All right, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. This week we will be recapping the Lions' victory over the Raiders on Monday night.
Yeah, it was a great team win. Defense looked great. Offense was much improved from the week before. I think we came back and handled business just exactly like we were supposed to against a lesser opponent.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders aren't that good this year, but 26-14, decent win, covered the spread.
Yep.
Win by double digits in the league, you got to feel good about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you get a double-digit win in the NFL, it's a great thing, especially coming after a demoralizing loss at Baltimore. We rallied the troops and we showed out for the hometown fans, did we not?
Yeah, I mean, the hometown fans obviously play a huge factor too. Teams performing well, you get the fans involved, and all of a sudden that environment becomes very difficult to play in. That's where the Lions are at right now, and this home field advantage continues to be a big element to this season and a lot of home wins.
Yeah, can we get a contract out for that blondie who pulled Gibbs up? My goodness, she
The
was looking
strength.
good. The strength and the looks on her, my goodness. Let's give her a 10-day contract.
Right.
I mean, it was just great to see. They're pulling him up and fucking celebrate with the fans. I loved every second of that, my man.
Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta love to see it.
It was a fun atmosphere and everyone was having a good time, and a Monday night primetime game that we've been wanting for years, and we showed out for it.
Yeah, finally got the big stage. Let's dive into the victory here. Defense. Man, it came up huge. I mean, they literally took the Raiders out of this game, and the offense really didn't need to do much.
No, the defense played great. With Dan Campbell giving Aaron Glenn the game ball, and he gave that to Cam Sutton and Jerry Jacobs after the tremendous job they did against, arguably the best wide receiver in football with Davante Adams.
Yeah, I mean, to shut Davante Adams down like that is crazy. Even with the poor quarterback play on the Raiders side, I mean, it seems like they missed him for a touchdown there late. But one reception for 14 yards or whatever for Davante, nothing really.
No, and he was at a loss for words at the end of that game with how good we played and the scheme we had. I mean, it was just great to see how flustered he was after all the years he tore us up in Green Bay.
Yeah, it was good to kind of get some payback there. I mean, when you're looking at this defense, man, they only gave up 7 points in this game. I mean, when you look at the scorecard, you see the 14, but the offense gave up one with Goff there.
Yep.
And for the most part, this defense just locked them down completely.
Yeah, the Lions defense generated pressures on 71.4% of Jimmy G's dropbacks. This is the highest pressure rate by a defense in a game since 2018 across the NFL. That's damn impressive.
Yeah, that's getting after it for sure.
Yeah, and let's give credit when credit's due. Let's talk a little about Aleem McNeil.
Yeah, big game. He's been breaking out the last couple games here.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, he's really he's becoming one of those guys in the league that is becoming kind of a superstar here. And if you haven't been hearing his name earlier in the season, you're going to start hearing it a lot more now.
Yeah, a lot of people thought we should have made a trade for defensive end, defensive tackle. I don't think we need it. I think we held steady, and I think Aleem McNeil's really coming on. He's playing the best football I've ever seen him play, and everyone wants to talk about Gibbs and his breakout performance. I'd say it's been building with Aleem McNeil.
Yeah, I mean, from the first snap of the season, you could see that he was getting there, and it's just developed and developed and developed. He's becoming a star for us on that defense. And the pass rush is getting there if McNeil's like that. And I mean, even if Hutch has to soak the double team, the other guys seem to be getting a little bit there too with Kaminsky and, some of that insider rush as well. And it might get James Houston, that good pass rush and defensive end we got. here in the next couple of weeks, they're kind of optimistic about it. They get him back, and all of a sudden that pass rush dials up more. It could be very good for this entire team getting that defense to play at that level.
Absolutely, man. If we get Houston back, that would be something special because he's a special player, and I would love to have that speed on the outside with Hutch, McNeil, and everyone else who's contributing thus far. I mean, the Raiders only had 157 net yards, which were the fewest the Lions have allowed in a game since November 28th of 2013 versus the Packers. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. The Raiders, I mean, I'm not sure where they're at as an organization, where they're going, whatever's going
no one
on
knows.
over there. But it's a situation where the Lions took care of business, beat an opponent they were supposed to win. It's exactly what you want to see out of a team that we're trying to gain more consistency with to win this division title.
Yeah, and for a guy who, tied the league in interceptions last year and got the last pick on Aaron Rodgers before he switched over to the goddamn Jets, Kirby Joseph hasn't had a pick this year, and he finally got back on track with that, and he's the first player to accumulate at least 5 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, over a player who's played at least 2 seasons since 1999 with the Lions.
Impressive. I mean, we picked him up in the second round there, and since day one, he's been an impact player for us. He's really developing into.
I think he was a third rounder.
Third rounder,
yeah.
I mean, even more of a steal there. Kirby Joseph has been great for us since day one. Just kind of has worked his way up, and he's becoming one of the more promising young safeties here in the league. You got to be excited too with this defense going forward.
Yep.
Because we're entering into this bye week.
Mm-hmm.
We got obviously the Chargers the week after that.
Rest up a little bit.
Rest up and get this team healthy. We've been dealing with injuries this entire season. It sounds like they could get a couple guys back after that bye week, and man, that would be great to have.
Oh, it's going to be awesome to have because I mean we are playing without our whole interior, our whole interior offensive line from week 1, and look at what Gibbs was able to do without our whole interior offensive line, and we have Dan Skipper coming in who suited up here and there. We have the rookie coming in,
Sorsdale, but he played pretty solid.
No, he did, and you want to know what he said? He gives all the credit to? I read this article the other day, and he was given all the credit. He said he came into the offensive line room, and you know who his favorite player is? Graham Grasscow, because he takes people under his wing. When he sees stuff, he'll be like, Graham, what do I do? Tells him to calm down. I got you. Tells him what to do. Graham has been there all the way for him, and that was really cool to see that Graham's that type of player.
Yeah. Gotta love Glasgow being that type of guy and being a mentor for the young players. The Lions core, though, you're right. I mean, up front with that offensive line, we continue to be banged up here. They didn't have their 3 starting interior linemen in this game.
No.
Like you're talking about, that is significant to any offense. It's going to slow them down drastically. It didn't seem to slow down Jahmyr Gibbs one bit, like you were talking about.
No,
we're finally talking about the breakout performance here.
Finally, we first him. Now we're hoping JMO does this after the bye week against the Chargers.
Yeah. A couple, the drops continue to be an issue with Jameson Williams, but I'm pleading with the fan base. Give the guy a break. He has not played in that many games.
Yep.
He's basically a rookie in his first couple of games. His speed is there. You can see the separation. I mean, the upside is going to be incredible. He's a young player. Give him time.
He had that nice catch across the middle because we finally allowed him to go across the middle, which is a nice change of pace instead of running the same route every single time. So
straight.
But so he's right there. I'm not worried about him. The talent, the speed's there. So it's just going to be fun to watch when his breakout performance is.
Yeah, I got a feeling a deep shot's going to hit here shortly for Jameson Williams. And as he continues to grow with this offense, learn it more, and get the reps in, I mean, you're going to see the guy get a role expanded in this offense as well.
Yeah.
Where he's going to become more of a prevalent player on a play basis. And when we have that, it's going to stretch the defense, add a little bit more juice to this offense. And on the other side of adding juice, what happens when Montgomery comes back? And we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery being in the same backfield behind maybe an offensive line. We're talking this could be the best running attack in the entire league right now.
Oh, and I totally agree. I still don't understand how they can call Craig Reynolds fumble a fumble. He was clearly on the ground, but that's a topic for another discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you want to talk about a little extra juice? How about that little trade we made for Donovan Peoples-Jones?
Yeah.
Baby, that's a nice upgrade from Marvin Jones. Young, he can help in the special teams game. Local kid, grew up in Detroit, went to the University of Michigan, and he had a couple of great years in Cleveland. Had his best year with 837 yards last year and 5 TDs, and that he just hasn't found his place over there so far. With Deshaun being back and whatnot, but I think it's a tremendous upgrade from Marvin Jones Jr. And he's going to help us in the special team game. Great punt returner, good kick returner, and he's going to, just help us with our wide receiver depth.
Yeah, it gives a little bit more speed there, a little bit more athleticism. Khalif Raymond is still, a great athlete on the outside. When he gets into space, he can be a playmaker for us. I mean, this wide receiver core is coming together in a way where they're kind of deep. With Reynolds, Khalif, and I think DPJ is going to see some time here.
Absolutely.
Even if he's just a bench piece, the guy's ability to run and create separation and make that big play is going to give him some opportunities on the field. You got to like what the Lions got on the outside. And to add to those wide receivers, Sam Laporta looks like he is one of the top tight ends here in the game, as elite as it comes when we're talking about offensive rookies.
Sam Laporta is the first tight end with at least 3 catches, 35 receiving yards in each of a player's first 8 career games. The dude's balling, man. He is so good, and we just don't know how good this guy's going to be, but I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't think that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's becoming the safety net, the second safety net for Goff here.
Yep.
He's looking St. Brown first for a safety net because it seems like St. Brown's open every single play with the separation he's creating. But to see Goff getting comfortable like that with a target that is that young, whew, it's a lot to like about that Lions offense.
Yeah, it sure is. Speaking of St. Brown, he continues to roll and is the first Lion to have 3 straight 100-yard games since Golden Tate in 2014, which is pretty impressive. The Yak King himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to re-sign St. Brown. I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, he is a huge piece of this team, culture-wise, and also with performance and we got to keep him around, and I think you got to put him in the discussion for probably top 7, top 8 receivers in the game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's producing at this level.
No, he gets the separation. Then when he has the ball in his hands, he is very special, just like Golden Tate was. He just spreads the field and makes it look easy too. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece. It feels like every week
every week, man. And then speaking, so we got the bye week. We hope to get healthy. What are your predictions going into this Chargers game?
Yeah, I think when you're looking at it, it's gonna be a battle here.
Yeah,
the Chargers have an offense. They got some firepower. They've seen heavy competition playing over there against Kansas City all the time. I think it's a situation where the Lions are getting healthier. And I think if Montgomery comes back, I think that offense that the Lions have over there when it's healthy is one of the best in the league. I think we go in there. It's a little bit of a shootout. I think the Chargers can score on their home field.
Is it a 1 or 4 o'clock game being in San Diego? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know that either, but we'll figure that out either way.
We'll figure that out. We still got 2 weeks to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think when we're talking about it, it's going to be a shootout there. Herbert, Eckler the Chargers side, two outstanding
Great players, young
playmakers.
players.
Yeah, and I do think the Lions go in there, though, play a close game, and end up pulling out that 31-27 victory.
Yeah, I do think that the Chargers will score a fair amount of points. They can't seem to get it done when it is a close game. I mean, Sam, he can sling the ball around for a bunch of yards, but he has a hard time closing out close games. So I think it might be a little bit of a shootout, and I think we win it 38-24.
38-24, okay.
Yeah.
So you think we're going to pull away a little bit with that offense. I could see it. I think Lions healthy. I think you got to feel good about their chances here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just going to be a great time for us to get some rest after this bye, and we're going to come back healthier and with some key guys back, and I think we're just going to take care of business as we should.
Yeah, I would. I'd love to see that. I mean, the schedule is setting up pretty good.
Favorable.
Here, Speaks. I mean, we are talking about a situation where the Lions are leading this NFC North. They've become the favorites.
Kirk Cousins out now.
Yeah, with Minnesota losing their quarterback, unfortunately. And I mean, with this Lions schedule lining up, I think it's the third easiest schedule left for all the teams in the NFL. And the way that they're getting healthy, the way they're starting
at the right time.
Yeah, getting healthy, getting into kind of that weaker part of the schedule. I mean, the conference or the division looks down. I think the Lions have a legit shot here at being the top team in the NFC as a whole, and I think we kind of have to start talking about it. San Francisco losing back-to-back weeks. They don't look the same
Three straight.
They don't look the same without Deebo Samuel.
No, they don't.
The Eagles look tough, but their schedule going forward is going to be tricky for them. I think they have one of the hardest 6-game stretches coming up here.
Hurts is still banged up with his knee, too.
A little bit of injuries over there that they're dealing with as well. I mean, it's not that far off to say that the Lions have a very good chance at potentially being the NFC Kings at the end of the season and the playoffs, the road to the Super Bowl.
We got to clean a few things up, though.
Yeah, but then at that point, the playoffs all run through Detroit.
Yeah, I want to see Jared Goff stop making bad throws and having bad interceptions, too, though.
I agree, and I think, I'm probably stepping out line with saying that we could be the top dogs in the NFC, but, if they keep playing at the rate they are...
If they keep playing at the rate they are, yes, but, I mean, we got to remember, Las Vegas is a lesser opponent, and I want to see what we do in LA against the Chargers in an away match, and see how we fare with that, because we didn't fare so well in Baltimore.
That's a good point. I think Baltimore, is a team that's on the up and up too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think they have to prove it versus some better opponents.
Yep.
But having home field advantage throughout the playoffs would give Detroit an incredible advantage with what we have right now. It'd be an exciting time. I mean, we haven't had a home playoff game since 1993.
1991 versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, okay, so just insanity
here.
Yeah. I mean, it's been too long. We're talking about, 3 decades there.
Yeah.
And it's time to get a home
playoff
game over here.
We hungry.
Yeah, you can sense it, man. So exciting times.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back here in a couple weeks to recap that Chargers game and dive into the following week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed another episode of Sports Flow with BK and Speaks.